I'm going to get right into this. School shooting yesterday, 21 killed at a Texas elementary school. My view on this hasn't changed from last week when we had a shooting in Buffalo. My view is simple. First, let me go to Steve Kerr's comments. You know what? I applaud anybody that wants to speak out. I applaud anybody that thinks they have an idea and they have a platform and they want to speak to it. I do. I mean, whether you agree with the idea, whether you don't agree with the idea, hey, look, man, that's up to you. My thought is simple. My thought is we're broke. We don't have any type God in our schools. We don't have any type religion. We don't have any type of discipline in our schools. We don't have any type of discipline in our families. At least most don't. We have marginalized families. We have too many, far too many fatherless homes. It's my view of it. You know, you can take a view that if Congress or if the Senate would pass a bill, it would solve all of it, and that's fine. I applaud anybody who wants to speak on it. And if Steve Kerr and others feel that and know enough about it to know that that bill passing through the Senate would solve this problem or at least alleviate this problem, then I would ask anybody, then why the hell isn't it being passed? I would, regardless of what lobby is involved, regardless of what I would ask. Hey, look, if that bill can do what people seem to think it is, and it needs to be passed. My thought is, and look, I see people being fed up with it now. I've been fed up with it for years. I've talked on my local radio show for years and years and years about being fed up with this. As I told you, I was a scared kid, man. Scared to death. Scared somebody was going to rob. Somebody threw a Molotov cocktail at our house, started it on fire. We were robbed numerous times out of bikes, out of our garage, different things. So I was a scared kid. So I understand. I do. I totally understand. And thank God I had a family. Thank God I had a mom and dad where I felt protected. And anybody that thinks that what they think is right and can help slow or stop this down, I'm all for speaking out. This is not a time for me to be divisive. If you want to be divisive on Steve Kerr, that's up to you. If Steve Kerr feels that way and others do, then God bless you. I'll say the same thing today that I said last week that I've said for years. Mental health is an issue in this country. Y'all are going to disagree with this, probably parse this next part and put it out there without context, but I think it's a whole. I think that the way we dehumanize killing, the things you see on TV and video games play a part in it. Mental health, as I said, plays a part in it. The availability of guns plays a part in it. No, background checks plays a part. There's all kind of things that play a part in this. Mental health plays a part in this. But I'm a big believer, and I've always been a big believer, and I will never not be a big believer, that the family, the nuclear family being torn apart, not being valued is huge. Fathers not being around is huge. This kid killed his grandmother, for crying out loud, then went and killed 19, 20 more people. I mean, think about that. Think about if you were going to, what would make you kill your grandmother? I don't have the answer to that. But I'm for everybody speaking out. I'm not for making people heroes for speaking out. I'm not, if you want to know what Steve Kerr is about, Clay has articles up right now at Outkick. But I will tell you this. My thing never changes. My thing is always we have dehumanized human life. Somebody kills somebody, hey, what the hell? Somebody kills somebody in a video game. There's all kind of studies. You can read them. You can read all kind of studies on the amount of murders a child sees by the time he's 10 years old. Whether it's on a video game, whether it's on TV, wherever it is. We dehumanize it. You know we do. I know we do. We all know we do. We can't have discipline in schools. We can't have prayer in schools. We can't have respect in schools. We can't, fathers are absent. And I just got to tell you, that I think is the biggest problem in our society. That's what I think. That's how I think. I want to hear other people's thoughts. I want to hear people with a platform speak out instead of just saying, oh my God, this has to stop. Like, that's why, hey, look, you agree with Steve Kerr, you disagree with Steve Kerr, you don't like Steve Kerr, you do like Steve Kerr. I personally, I'm fine, whatever. But I do think this, him speaking out, I think is a good thing. I think the more people that speak out, and if there's a bill in front of the Senate that can be passed, I would ask simply, why isn't it passed? If it's a bill that could stop this in people's minds or slow it down, then why isn't it passed? And I know everybody has an opinion. Oh, it's the gun lobby, it's this, that, and the other. What's really in the bill and why isn't it being passed? That's how I look at it. If you want to go on Twitter and tell me how you look at it. But I also think this, man. Anybody that knows me, and I've been talking about this for 20-some years. No, not 20. Yeah, pretty much 20-some years, actually. Even when I was a coach, I talked about these kind of things. Anybody that knows me knows how I cry on my radio show when kids get hurt. Always have. Could not watch The Wizard of Oz because Dorothy wasn't home. And my heart breaks. But that's not enough. That's not enough. We got to keep speaking out. My words aren't going to change anything. But my God, look at the country we live in. We're not allowed. Teachers are hamstrung with discipline. Fathers are absent. And every time something happens, every single time something happens, this side takes on that side fires back, and away we go. I personally, my way of looking at the world is, if you've got a platform and you think you have an answer, use it. That's how I look at it. My platform, I have one. It's not the biggest, but I would, again, say to you, tell me where I'm wrong about fathers. Tell me where I'm wrong about discipline. Everybody knows, everybody that has a brain understands that discipline is an important part of a child's development. Not beatings, not abuse, discipline. And until we figure this out, we will continue to see this because we live in a copycat society. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me not to do background checks on people. I mean, what the hell? Let's see who has guns. The gun thing, a guy can go get a gun anywhere. I'm not for or against it. I'm for whatever works. I'm for whatever works. Bipartisan, whatever works. But man, oh man, this is 2 weeks in a row. And I'm not even getting into all of them. Guy walked up to another guy right in the subway and shot him. There's so many of these things that are happening. So I'm not mad at Steve Kerr. I'm not mad at, I'm just telling you what I'm telling you. Until we get discipline, until we find religion, at least allow it, and until we find fathers, real fathers, we're going to have a problem. You're seeing the result of a breakdown of all of it. At least that's my opinion. And then lastly, the dehumanization of death. I've seen one dead body in my lifetime. My father, when he passed away in a mall, in a Tesla store. Actually, we're Serbian. And Nikolai Tesla is our guy, right? Only dead body I've ever seen live was my father. A lot of kids see 20, 30 dead bodies by the time they're 15. And it is sickening. Absolutely sickening. Shouldn't be. We should be protecting our children. And if we got to put police in schools, we got to put police in schools. If we got to have scanners at every door, we got to have scanners at every door. Whatever we got to do, because right now, open doors mean potential death. And that should not be. I'm going to tell you something else. I've always thought of this. I never even told my parents this. Back when I was in grade school, I'll never forget this. When I was in grade school, we used to have to go to church every day to start with at St. Peter and Paul. If you got there early, you went upstairs. You got there late, you went downstairs. So I'll never forget wondering as a kid, what would happen if a guy with a gun came into the church and started shooting? I'll never forget. I know exactly where I was sitting because a weird-looking dude came down the hallway with a long coat. And I'd seen enough FBI shows and movie shows to wonder. I've been wondering about this since I was in 5th grade, 4th grade, 3rd grade. I have. So criticize me all you want. Parse whatever you want of what I just said. But I know one damn thing. I ain't wrong.